Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to make a simple short with rope at the waist and it has pockets by the sides. So if it's something you want to learn how to do, please keep watching. It is very easy to make. Um, it has ropes at the waist, like I said, and it has side pockets. So let's get started. Now I have my fabric unfolds. I'll be cutting the front first. So I'll take my measurements. Now taking from my starting point, which is my waistline, I'll take my full length measurement, all right, and add allowance. I have 17 there. Then I will take my hip measurement of 9 inches. From my waist to the knee is 9 inches. I'll just mark it on this other side and connect with a straight line like this. Then I'm going to mark my crotch line. Okay, so you have to I'm measuring my crotch depth of 12 inches. Okay, to get this you can divide your hip by 4 and add 2 inches seam allowance to it. So now I have my waist, my hip, my crotch depth and my full length. Then on this folded part of my fabric on my hem, I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches. I want to create the hip curve on that side, and on the waist I'm going to come in by 1 inch. Now I'm going to connect this to my hip with a straight or slant line like this, and then I'll connect it to my hem. Right, I just want to mark the hip curve. As you can see, it's already taking shape. I'll just blend that place up to remove every pointiness. Now I'll take my circumference. Now on my waist, we'll be attaching an elastic on the waist, so we're not going to be using the waist measurement, rather we'll use the hip measurement on the waist. So I'll divide my hip by 4. Right, I have 9 inches, and I'll add my seam allowance to it. Okay, so the seam allowance depends on what you want. I added 1 because I didn't have enough fabric. You can add 2. All right, so I'll also put my hip measurement on my hip. So I have the same 9 inches plus 1 inch, which is 10 inches. Right, and note that whatever measurement you're taking is starting from the chocks area. Right, as you can see where my tape is. So I mark my hip circumference divided by 4 plus my seam allowance. Now on the crotch depth, I'm going to mark my thigh circumference. So you're going to take your measurements like it is on the screen here, and you divide it by 2 and you add 1 inch to it. Okay, now you're just going to bring down that line to your hem like this, and then you connect these points that we already made from the waist to the hip to your crotch line with a slant curve like this. Don't make it too slanty so that you won't have a bulgy crotch or something. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut this out. This is my front piece. So remember, I divided by my thigh by 2. My thigh circumference is 24. I marked 12 inches. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Okay, so I'll go ahead and cut that area. You won't be needing that, just cut it off. I have my front piece now, and I'll use it to cut my back. So I'll place another fabric on fold like this, and I'm going to place my back on it. Here I was just trying to manage this fabric because it was really small. I was just trying to manage, but just keep watching, you understand what I'm doing. So when you're placing your front on your back, you make sure that your back is larger, okay, because we'll be extending the crotch line. Usually for your shorts and your pants, the crotch line of the back is usually bigger than the front because to accommodate your buttocks, right? So I'm extending this one by 1 inch because my fabric isn't enough and because I'm not big. So if you're big, you can extend by 1.5 or even as much as 2 inches. That is if your hip is bigger than 36 inches, right? So I'll just go ahead and cut this other side. I'll cut exactly the shape I have there, right? Then when I come on this side that is my crotch area, I'm going to mark half inch all the way up to the 1 inch I marked on my crotch. So the back will be half inch from the hem bigger, and you connect it to your crotch, and you also mark half inch 1 inch that I mark. So if you're marking 1.5 inches, you will still maintain this 1 inch. Okay, extend the back by 1 inch and then blend it up to the upper part. The upper part is going to meet. Okay, so watch what I'm doing. Okay, so I have the front and the back piece now, and the next thing I want to do is to like I said, if you're extending your crotch line by 1.5 or by 2, it doesn't affect these other parts, okay, of 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and cut my pockets because it will have pockets. So I will just place my hand, measure the length of my pocket. Here I measure 6 inches because I have a small hand. If you have bigger hands, you can do 7 inches, all right? So you measure it and you place your hand like this and mark a curve like this and just cut it out. Remember that this fabric is on fold, so I would have 2 pieces and then I'll place it again on this one and cut another 2 pieces. That means I'll be having 4 pieces, 2 pieces on each side. All right. So I have 2 pieces on both sides, for both sides. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, I'll go to my machine and sew the crotch of the front and the back with half of an inch. Just join the both of them with half of an inch. And then for my pockets on my waistline, I'm going to measure 2 inches down and I will notch it. So that is where I will start fixing my pockets from. Okay, so that notch will help me know where this is where my pocket is going to start from, right? So I've gone ahead to join my crotch for the both the front and the back by half of an inch, and the next thing I'm going to do is to attach my pocket. So I'm going to open up the piece. This is the back. Please mark your back so that you don't confuse the 2 pieces. So I'll open it to the front and then I'll get a pocket, a single piece, and I'll place it right side facing right of the fabric. The right should be facing the right of the fabric. Place it from the 2 inches part that we notched. I'm going to pin it up, right? You sew this with half of an inch or even a quarter of an inch as the case may be, depends on the seam allowance you added. I'll do the same thing for the other side. I'll also do the same thing for the front piece of my shirt. I'll go ahead and sew them with half of an inch. Okay, now I've already I joined these 2 pieces, the front and the back. I placed both of them front facing front. I joined with half of an inch then to my pocket and now half of an inch down to my waist. Now I use half of an inch to join because remember I added 1 inch seam allowance, okay, because I was trying to measure my fabric, and because I've already joined the crotch by half inch, what is left is half of an inch, right? So if I measure round of my waist, I'm going to have my exact hip measurement of 36 inches. So I'm going to measure round of my waist. This is to enable me to cut my bands where I'll be inserting the rope for my waist. All right, so I'll measure it round. I have exactly 36 inches. Now I'm going to cut a strip of fabric measuring 36 inches by length. I'll add um I'll fold it into two. Of course, a half of 36 is 18 inches, but I'm going to be adding half inch to it for joining. All right, so I'll have 18.5 on fold, or 18 and a half on fold. So now the width is you can add 1 inch seam allowance. It all depends on you. The width is 4 inches, right? So by the time I fold it and join to my waist by half of an inch, what I'll have left would be 1.5. Okay, so I'll also go ahead and make a rope for the rope I'll be inserting on this inside this band. Okay, I'll cut this. I'll go ahead and fold it into two like this, and I'll attach it to my waist all the way around like this. See, I'm placing it on the front, and I'll join it with half of an inch. So I'll use this for my rope. So I've done that. I've attached the band. I've also created my rope. Okay, and I made a hole. This rope is my hip length plus 5. That is 36 inches plus 5. All right, and I made a hole here. I opened just the front parts, 2 holes where I'll be inserting and bringing the rope out from. If you have an eyelet, you can use an eyelet to create this, but I didn't have. I just opened it up with a seam ripper. So I'll just insert the rope inside of it and bring it out into the other hole. Yeah, I've done that, and I'll go ahead and hem the down part, and this is basically it. It's what it looks like. Very simple and easy to make. Kindly like and subscribe to my channel if you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. Bye.